Takaikamishima is a small island floating in Japan's Seto Inland Sea, once alive with nearly 600 residents. Children's laughter filled the narrow streets, fishermen hauled in their catch, and families lived by the rhythm of the sea. The island was a close-knit community where everyone knew each other and life moved at a gentle pace. Ferries connected the island to the mainland, bringing supplies and news. But as Japan modernized, young people left for cities, seeking education and jobs the island couldn't offer. The departures grew, and each person who left took a piece of the island's spirit. Today the island is quiet, its streets mostly empty, houses vacant, and only the wind and waves remain. Takaikamishima's story echoes that of many rural Japanese communities, aging populations, shrinking towns. Yet, in the silence, a new idea began to form, one as colorful as the world of Japanese comics. The island's future seemed uncertain, but hope was stirring. Imagine a place where the past lingers in every corner, but a new story is waiting to be written. The islanders, though few, refused to let their home fade away. They searched for a way to bring life back to their beloved island. What could possibly revive a place so close to vanishing? The answer would come from an unexpected source: manga. This is the story of how creativity, determination, and a love for home sparked a remarkable transformation. Takaikamishima was about to become something no one could have predicted. The island's next chapter was about to begin. Takaikamishima's decline was slow, a silence that crept in as young people left for city life. The school closed in 2009, its classrooms empty, echoing with memories. Shops and businesses shuttered, unable to survive without customers. The island's doctor retired, and no one replaced him. Basic services faded, pushing even more residents to leave. By the early 2020s, only 11 elderly people remained. The island teetered on the edge of becoming a ghost town. The government tried to help, but subsidies and programs couldn't solve the core problem. There were no jobs, no school, and few services. The remaining islanders clung to their memories of festivals, busy harbors, and neighbors. Now they faced isolation and loneliness, surrounded by empty homes. Takaikamishima became a symbol of Japan's rural crisis. But for those who stayed, giving up was not an option. This was their home, and they were determined to keep its heart beating. The question remained: how do you breathe life back into a place that's disappearing? The answer would require imagination, courage, and a leap of faith. The island's faint pulse was about to grow stronger. Amid the quiet, Yasuyuki and Emi Funakoshi dreamed up a bold idea: manga. They weren't experts, just islanders desperate to save their home. Manga is a global phenomenon, bursting with energy and emotion. What if Takaikamishima became a living manga gallery? The plan transformed empty buildings into canvases for giant manga murals, featuring beloved characters. The project, first called Neko no Shima, aimed to create an experience found nowhere else. The Funakoshis faced skepticism from neighbors and the daunting task of securing rights from major publishers. Why would Tokyo's manga giants care about a tiny island? But Yasuyuki and Emi persisted, writing letters, making calls, sharing their vision. Slowly, their passion began to win people over. The island's story was about to be rewritten, one brushstroke at a time. The manga idea was a gamble, but it was the spark Takaikamishima needed. The first step toward revival had begun. The breakthrough came when legendary manga artist Leiji Matsumoto gave his blessing. His iconic characters, Captain Harlock Meitel, would grace the island's walls. With Matsumoto's support, other artists and publishers joined in. Volunteers, artists, and residents transformed abandoned buildings into vibrant canvases. Captain Harlock gazed out to sea. Meitel brought grace to quiet corners. Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star added energy. Each mural was carefully placed, creating a journey of discovery for visitors. The murals turned decay into storytelling, giving new life to empty spaces. The project united the community, locals cooked for volunteers, artists shared their skills, and hope returned. Yasuyuki led the charge, proud to see smiles return to the island. The murals became more than art, they were symbols of resilience. Takaikamishima was talking again, this time in the language of manga. The island's transformation was underway, and the world was starting to notice. The murals were just the beginning. The island's story was now visible for all to see. A new chapter had been painted into existence. News of the manga murals spread quickly, first locally, then across social media. Photos of vibrant art against the sea went viral. drawing manga fans and curious travelers. For the first time in years, the ferry brought more than supplies. It brought visitors. The island's quiet streets filled with footsteps and laughter. A local woman opened a cafe and the ferry service found new purpose. Tourists came for the art, but stayed for the island's peace and beauty. The murals gave Takaikamishima a new identity, no longer a dying island but a creative destination. The community felt pride and hope, seeing their idea succeed. The project proved that culture and creativity could spark real change. The island's narrative shifted from decline to innovation. The murals opened a door to new possibilities. Takaikamishima was ready for its next, even bolder step. The tide was turning. Inspired by the mural's success, the community dreamed bigger, a manga school. They transformed the abandoned elementary school into a creative hub. Professional manga artists and editors from Tokyo joined as instructors. The school offered short, intensive courses, weekend workshops and week-long camps. Students stayed in renovated houses, immersing themselves in island life. The school brought new energy, young artists learning, drawing, and exploring. The empty school became a beacon of hope, no longer a symbol of loss. The project shifted from attracting tourists to building a new community. The manga school gave people a reason to stay longer, to dream bigger. Takaikamishima was no longer just preserving its past, it was creating a future. The island's transformation was now about education, creativity, and renewal. A new generation was ready to draw the next chapter. The manga school attracted students from across Japan and beyond. They found inspiration in the island's tranquility, no distractions, just creativity. Students and elderly residents formed new bonds, sharing stories and art. The laughter of young people returned, making the island feel alive again. Some students and instructors chose to stay, becoming new residents. These newcomers brought fresh energy and hope, helping to build a sustainable community. One new settler said, "Here, I can work on my art and be part of something meaningful." Each new resident was a victory against the island's silence. The manga project proved it could do more than attract tourists. It could inspire people to call Takaikamishima home. The island's fabric was being rewoven, with new stories and dreams. The project's impact was now visible in every corner. Takaikamishima future was no longer just a hope, it was becoming reality. The island was alive with possibility. The silence had been replaced by creativity and connection. Despite progress, Takaikamishima still faces real challenges. Its small size and remoteness make transportation and daily life difficult. The manga school's finances are tight, relying on tuition, grants, and volunteers. Tourism must grow further to support the local economy. The island needs more places for visitors to stay, and more activities to offer. Balancing growth with preserving the island's charm is delicate. The aging population remains a concern. More young families are needed for true sustainability. Reviving traditional industries like fishing or agriculture could help. The manga project is a powerful start but not a complete solution. Takaikamishima comeback story is still being written. The community must keep adapting, dreaming, and working together. The next chapters will require as much creativity as the first. Takaikamishima story is a testament to resilience and the power of creative ideas. The island has become a beacon of hope in the face of rural decline. The manga project brought not just tourists but pride and purpose. Optimism is everywhere, in the eyes of the Funakoshis, the dreams of students, and the smiles of residents. "We don't know what the future holds," says Emi Funakoshi, "but now we have a future to look forward to." The islanders are drawing their own destiny. The challenges are real, but the transformation is undeniable. Takaikamishima is now defined by what it's creating, not what it's lost. The island's journey inspires us to value our own communities and imagine new solutions. Even the quietest places can find a powerful new voice. With creativity and heart, a brighter future can be drawn. One mural, one story, one dream at a time. Takaikamishima next chapter is just beginning.